Okay, here we are with the first video for the week 7 concepts. There were two different concepts in week 7. There's this set of problems, which is solving two-step equations, and then there's also another set of problems, which is geometry. It's those angle relationships, and that video is posted as well. So do this one, and then if you need 7.2, do that one. Let's start with problem 1 here. And remember, if you get partway through listening to this explanation, and then you think, oh, I see what I did wrong, just pause the video, finish out your problem, and then come back to it. Don't treat this like you're just going to passively sit and listen to me. Treat this like, oh, you know what? I'm an active learner here. I'm involved. I figure out what I did. Now I'm ready to move on. Okay, so step 1. We've talked about taking and putting this red dotted line down. And that red dotted line simply tells us or reminds us whatever we do on one side, we're going to do on the other as well. Now, in this case, we're solving the left side of the equation. The left side is where x is, and that's what we're solving for, is that x. So whatever we do on the left, we have to do on the right. First thing we're going to do on the left is we're going to take away 5. We want to cancel out that plus 5. So we do it by subtracting 5. Those two parts cancel. And what we have left is we have 8x is equal to 29 take away 5 is 24. Next step, what's happening to x? It's being multiplied by 8. So we are going to do the opposite. We're going to divide by 8. There's our big one right there. And we remember whatever we do on the left, have to do on the right. That's not one of my best 8s, but it'll work. Over here, we have x left over. Over here, we have 3. Let's just see if that works. See if that makes sense. Does 8 times 3 plus 5 make 29? Well, 8 times 3 is 24. And yes, 24 plus 5 is equal to 29. We know we did that correctly. All right, second problem. Give ourselves a little room to work there. Second problem. Sophia spent a total of $34 at the amusement park. Each ride was $1.50. The entrance fee was $25. How many rides did Sophia go on at the amusement park? So we're going to start here with an equation. And our equation is this. If you take how much it costs Sophia to get into the park, $25, and you add $1.50 for some number of rides. How many rides? That's the x. The entire amount she spent was $34. So once we have our equation, we're going to treat it just like we treated the equation over on this part. Notice now we're solving just like we solved that. So step 1 in that solving is subtract out this 25. We're trying to get down to how much money she spent on the rides. So we want to cancel how much money she spent to get into the park. And once we cancel that out, we have $1.50 times some number of rides there. And over here we have 34 take away, I didn't show my subtraction, take away 25 gives us 9. Second step, divide this by 150. And divide 9 by 150. When we divide by 150, this turns out to be x because we had our big 1. Remember, this is 150 divided by 150. That's equal to 1 whole. Times x gives us x. And 9 divided by 150, and I'm just going to come right up here, 9 divided by 1.5. All right, remember your rules about dividing. You have to go ahead and put that there, and then you move that across, then you move that across. And basically what we're saying is how many times does 15 go into 90? And you can just do 15s. 15 and 15 make 30, that's twice. Another 15 is 45, that's 3 times. You might already be thinking to yourself, oh wait, 45 twice, that's 90. It's going to be 6 times. 6 times 5, 30. 6 times 1 is 6. 3 makes 90. X is equal to 6. And then we would do this same type of check to see if it's right. We'd multiply 6 times 150. We'd multiply 6 times 150. Which would give us 9, and we'd add the 9 to the 25. All right, there are some more problems on this page. Now, if you got these correct and you figure, heck, I probably got the others correct, just move right on to that part of the video. If you got stuck a little bit and you feel like you have a better understanding, then pause the video, go ahead to the second part, redo those problems as you need to, then come back to the video. All right, here we go. So step 1, here's our dotted line. Step 2, in this case, it's subtract 7, so we do the opposite. We add a 7 in. That leaves us with 6x right here. Negative 37 plus 7. 7 0 pairs, negative 30 left. Then go ahead and divide by 6 on both sides. Remember, you'll know you did it correctly if that's a 1. Just like you'll know you did this correctly if those cancel out. And that's going to leave us with x. My color didn't change like I thought it did. There we go. X is equal to negative 5. And we can check our work. Let's go right over here and do 6 times negative 5, take away 7, which is negative 30, take away 7, which, and I've talked about this before, I find adding the opposites easier. And yes, negative 30 plus negative 7 is negative 37, and I know I did that correctly. All right, that's stretched a little further than I wanted it to, so let me shrink that up just a bit. Having trouble grabbing a hold of it here. There we go. Shrink it up just a bit. Maybe we'll bring it down there. We'll put our check down there for this one. All right, Sarah went to the candy store, bought 60 pieces of candy. She gave each of her 3 siblings the same amount of candy, kept 18 for herself. How many did she give each of the siblings? Well, each of those siblings got X pieces of candy. How many she gave to the siblings? How many she gave to the siblings? That's X pieces of candy. All right, so now we're ready to write an equation to show that. So our equation is she gave each of the siblings, the 3 siblings, some amount of candy. She kept 18 for herself, and that was out of having 60 altogether. Put in that red dotted line. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take away the amount of candy she kept for herself, because we're trying to figure out how much each of the siblings got. So we're going to take away these 18 she kept for herself. And now she knows that her siblings, her 3 siblings, get to share a total of 42 pieces of candy. Now, how much does each sibling get? Since that's the question, what did she give to each sibling? We're going to divide by the number of siblings. And when we divide This gives us a big 1, so we multiply 1 times x, we get x. And 42 divided by 3 is 14. So 14 pieces each. That's what the siblings received. They each got 14 pieces of candy. Okay, so now you're ready. If you've finished these up and you feel like you understand it, it's time for an intervention test so you can improve your grade, show some additional mastery. That helps your grade go up. It's just time then to come see me. Bring your corrected paper to me. Let me know you're ready. I'll run a test. We'll invite you in during an SSR, and you can show that extra mastery. See you in class.